Resume 3, final draft. So your final draft worth 50 points. In order for you to move on, you need above a 40 to move on to the cover letter. So you may be stuck doing and redoing if it's not approved. 1 through 3 should be almost ideal because it was resume part 1. If you haven't done this, it's time to do it now. School honors and awards, this is where you list any scholarships, honors, awards that you have. If you don't have it, which many of you don't because you are just freshmen, and the big awards start coming when you get older, leave it out. You know your GPA, put it in. GPA is like a 3.75, 4.0, 3.0. It is not a 98%. That is your grade average, not grade point average. It's important to note the difference. Paid work or unpaid work experiences should be listed at the top just because it's showing you past experiences. Some of that might fall in line with volunteer work, right? Make sure you're listing all the responsibilities that you had doing that. If you babysat, it sounds silly, but provided meals for young children, engaged in safe activities while parents were away, those sorts of things. List in bullet points those things that you did for the kid or the family. So I have some examples here. Maybe if this is extracurricular and experience, job title might be babysitting, company might be family, it might be neighbors. How long have you been babysitting for? And this is where you bullet. Please don't write a story. The shorter, the better, while still being professional about it. Okay, the next thing on the list is skills. This is something you haven't done necessarily yet. When you deal with skills, I have some examples here. You're going to list the things that are relatable to the thing in your objective. So if you're going to work at cars, maybe, or waterway, you might say energetic, outgoing. I don't think you have to talk to people. You're just cleaning cars. So thorough, attentive to details, those sorts of things. They're defining words. These are the action words that I asked you to write about. Okay. Next up, volunteer work in athletics. This is going to be any sort of details that weren't big before. So for a lot of your experiences, you might be listing things like basketball or football or lacrosse, soccer, Boy Scouts, whatever, anything you've been involved in a lot and show commitment and interest should be towards the top. Notice how I broke down these items without saying, I played for the Chaminade varsity team. I played for a select team. They get that. This is all about you. That's why your name's on this. Okay? Went to nationals with the Rock Start Basketeers. I'm just making stuff up. Short but sweet, good content included. So finally, what you need to be aware of is before you turn on your final draft, you have to skim through everything and make sure things like this is gone. Make sure the second education thing is gone. Make sure you've covered all your sections or added sections that you needed. You're more than welcome to add sections. What I recommend that you do is copy a section you already have and then find a place to put it, right? So I don't know why I did it like that, but you at least have an idea of how this is going to look. If you have editing or formatting things, please come to me and we'll work it out because formatting and editing is kind of complicated in Microsoft sometimes. For example, I have this big random space that I really don't want, and I think it's a text box. I'm just not sure. It's one of those that I'm going to have to deal with some of the components. Ruler, navigation pane. So something I'd have to figure out with you depending on your individual needs. So this is what you should have. Obviously, mine's real not good right now, but you can work through all these items and ensure your resume is looking fairly professional, and you can compare it to other resumes online and get some ideas. Get creative, get attentive with it. Any weird stuff like it's okay to brag about your GPA, delete it. I don't want random stuff to replace this text. That shouldn't be on there. It should all be words from you. All right. Also, some of the things are not marking wrong. So notice I misspelled experience and it didn't mark it. So you might copy all this into a Google Doc and do Grammarly or just spell check in Google Doc to ensure you're getting the stuff right. Because I will mark you down for loss, for missing or mistakes in like organization and mistakes in spelling. Excuse me. Okay, so make sure your explanations have action words and are powerful and interesting. Your text shouldn't get too small. If you really have to go on to the second page, because it'll print front to back if you were to print it. Remember, this is kind of your first round. You're trying to show your professionalism, and this could eventually, if you keep updating it or fixing it, could eventually go towards your college board application stuff. All right, thanks, guys.